Uh, this year, 2020, has been something else. It's brought on a lot of issues, not just for a certain group, but for everyone, really, in the nation or in the world. We have coronavirus, and now we have police brutality, protests, and riots. But many people want to defund and disband the police force within the U.S. But really, what is that going to do? Is it really a great idea to just disband them, or will defunding really solve the issue at hand? Well, I don't think it really would. I believe that rather than defund and take away the resources of police officers, we should instead increase the requirements and increase the hours and time and quality of training police officers get within the US. Comparatively to other nations or Europe in general, the US has had deaths at the hands of police officers much more than states and nations within Europe. The US has had over 50 shootings in the first 24 days of 2015. Comparatively, we look at England and Wales, which had 55 deaths at the hands of police officers in the past 24 years. Looking at it again, comparing those numbers, we look at training time. The average police officer in the US has 672 hours worth of training, which seems like it's not a lot. In some states, it's actually around 400 hours. Comparatively, a plumber would have to take 800 hours worth of training plus certification. Hairstylists, barbers need 1,500 hours worth of training in order to get certified and be allowed to work. Looking back at the comparative numbers, Germany has had only 15 people fatally shot between 2010 and 2011. And German trainees have to go through training between 2 to 4 years worth of training, which compared again to American or the U.S. training, it's 600 hours, which is usually done within a span of 6 months or less. Increasing the time and value of training officers really could make the numbers a lot less than what they are right now. We're looking at Germany again. They are taught to diffuse the situation rather than act first and use lethal force. It helps control and prevent deaths for the police officers and the person at hand or in question. Looking also the policies at some of the other nations in some European countries such as Finland and Norway, officers have to seek permission to shoot if it is possible. In Spain, officers must also give warning shots before having to use lethal force. And really, now that we look at it, training time and the quality of it really does correlate into how many people are killed by police officers, maybe unjustly or using lethal force because it's just necessary. It just really depends because, again, in Germany, they're taught to defuse and disarm a situation. They are taught via simulations and trials. They have to go through a bunch of different situations throughout training so that whenever they come through that situation, they know how to diffuse and disarm it and let it end peacefully without having to harm anyone. And lethal force is rarely ever used. my whole idea is police officers in the US should be required to have longer training times, stricter policies, and better and higher quality training overall. It would also, with doing so, we would lower the amount of people that die at the hands of police officers unjustly. Through proper investment and training for police officers, we can learn to resort to other methods than relying to lethal force. Thank you.